behindthedoorofanartist.rose, and you'll find me at roseenpleinair.com, or just Google signature plein air painter ERose, and you'll find everything there and can contact me through that. Like I said, I'm in Boise, but I love to paint all over the state. We just returned from Redfish Lake, and we have been doing that for I think it's the 7th year now. And the gardens, Idaho Botanical Gardens, we paint there. It's going on the 7th year as well.
Now, is that class or a seminar?
No, it's people they're invited to paint with us at the Idaho Botanical Gardens. They don't have to be a member. If they just want to try plein air painting on location for a change instead of the studio.
Oh, okay.
Which brings me to a little difference in what the studio is. This would be like an underpainting. You can do that on location or in the studio, but then if you take it back to the studio, the typical way you would do it would be in glazes, and that's not plein air. It's not a wet situation. You put a glaze of a color over that, wait for it to dry, then you do another glaze and wait for it to dry and all that kind of thing.
So do you work in oils?
Yes, I work in oils.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and this is one that's wet into wet painting, which all the other paintings you'll see that I've done are. And this is kind of like a design key. Your eye is drawn to here because of the negative spaces. And they're each different, but this is all the same, and it's just the use of color just makes it more interesting. Now this is a historic barn that was on Warm Springs. It's no longer there. And that was a much more subdued setting, you know, with the browns and the foothills and all. But I rather like color and light differences. So I have some other paintings to show you over here.
Okay. How long have you been painting for?
Around 20 years is all. I did a career in nursing.
Oh, and then you
I
kind
was a
of...
nursing instructor, yeah, that kind of thing. Putting the kids through college, and then I'm getting back to what I love. And not that I didn't love nursing, but it's much lower key and more creative.
And how long have you been doing... is this full-time for you now?
Oh, yeah.
And how long have you been doing full-time?
8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
And you travel?
Yes, we belong to a group called the Plein Air Painters of Idaho. So we travel throughout the state. But I have paintings on my website from Florida and Oregon, my 2 favorite non-Idaho places. And that's about it. I painted Rowan Island, where we had gone 20 years ago, BC, before college with the kids.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was fun going back there and looking at it from a resort type atmosphere rather than on a sailboat. And you got one more painting done. Sailing and painting don't go too well because it's messy. So.
Okay, what parts in Oregon and what parts in Washington?
I was in, let's see, Sisters, and then, can't remember the name of the one on the coast.
Newport? Newport?
No, it's a little bit further north. It has a wonderful peninsula that juts out, and they have dories that they just shove into the ocean. Then they come in. You just full bore right onto the sand, and it's really fun to see.
Oh.
I can't think of it right now.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Just curious.
Yeah.
Lincoln City?
Huh?
Is it Lincoln City?
It's north of Lincoln City.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't picture what it's else
Yeah.
up there. Oh, okay. Well, what about Washington?
No, I said Florida.
Oh, Florida. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay.
South Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had another group that I had started. All of us came down Intercoastal Waterway on our boats, and we ended up in Stewart, a lovely little town on the Atlantic side. It has a nice little outlet to get to the ocean and such. Anyway, we all painted once we got there, so we were called the Waterway Women. And I love to paint South Florida, the colors and the water.
So you
gorgeous.
paint in place. You paint in place, basically where.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I painted in Florida. Let's see, Stewart, Fort Pierce, Palm Beach. Just wherever the boat would take us. Had a good time.
Oh no, that's fun.
Yeah.
Just curiosity, do you charge by the inch?
Yeah, that's a way that most artists charge, and the smaller ones are a little bit more because there's still a lot of effort and and you know, the quality that goes into it.
Yeah.
But then when you get them large, you'd like a little break. So the large ones are $1.25
Okay.
a square inch, and then $1.50 for the smaller ones.
Now
a
that-
square inch, and that's framed.
Oh, frame.
usually.
Okay, just framed.
Yeah.
Okay. And so if someone wants to buy it offline, or can you mail it to them?
Yes, oh yeah, we do shipping all the time.
Oh, okay.
Even when we're on location, people will be visiting and they'll see us at Redfish, and you know, they want a painting but they're not sure how to get it. We take it back and let it dry for a couple of weeks, and then we'll ship it.
And you tell them all the process. Yeah. You got.
Yeah, it works out really well.
Well, good. So you get when you go on location, you get some. You sell some paintings at the site.
Yeah, people like to see the process. You know, how you start out with a painting, and they'll come back and see if you're a little bit further along, and they'll come back and, oh, you was just a few lines a few minutes ago, and now you've got all this color and shapes, you know, that make the painting.
Yeah.
And the design is the key point. You know, you try and get an interesting design and shape and the right values of light and dark and color, and it pretty much does the painting as long as you have those right.
Right, and you got to work fast, right? Because of lighting.
Well, yeah. Either that or go back the same time the next day and finish it up.
Right.
Yeah. But usually you do alla prima, which means it's sitting for sitting, and the paint is wet and wet, and you just go, usually the darks first, and then you add the lights as you go, and the accents at the end. And it's just a fun thing. There's nowhere better to paint than out in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see some of your stuff. Let's go over here.
Now this painting is a shepherd's wagon there, but if you notice the color is pretty much muted. It complements yellows and lavenders.
Oh, I see.
So you can see the variation of light and where the dark is, and the pattern connecting, which makes it for a pretty good painting. This one here, is there a lot of glare on that?
No, it looks pretty good.
Okay, good. Well, you can see this, I call it first light, and it's all reflected, you know, right into the water. And these are the shapes. You don't have like lollipops lines, and you have mass of color, and then your accent at the end. And it's all complementary, and it works because it's in the palette is conducive to working together. You don't put blue reds with yellow reds, or you know, get mud.
Right, right.
So that's what it's doing there.
Now, have you gone to school for this?
No.
It's all self-taught.
All workshops and self-taught.
Yeah. You've been to a lot of workshops, haven't you?
Oh yeah, I love workshops.
Are you in any groups?
Yes, Plein Air Painters of Idaho and Treasure Valley Art Alliance.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then here's another one.
Oh, an American Impressionist
Okay.
Association. Yeah. And this is another view of redfish, and it's pretty much more the yellow and the lavender.
Yeah, those are kind of your favorite colors, right?
Well, it's the complement. You know, it's kind of unusual sometimes when you look at it for the first time, but it works real well for the finished painting. And if I'm in a much more color, well, here's one that's also kind of, this is at the Botanical Gardens,
Okay.
and it's just a mixture of shapes and color, and it reads well from a distance, so that, you know, we don't do illustrative work.
Right.
We just kind of like to get it down there the way we see it.